For example, atoms in our bodies before being harvested from the earth, they were forged in the core of the stars, and after that, they were thrown across the space. I think that's it's a really wonderful thing, and it's the greatest and the most wonderful story ever told. And by the end of the lesson, you will know that science and emotion, they do not oppose each other. They do not oppose each other. They are compatible, and they're not even compatible. They're inseparable.
Okay, yes, so the lesson objectives are on the screen, guys, and yes, emotions play a huge role in science and research, and you received the video in advance, and we ask you to watch this video, not to like spend lots of time, because we are also having two more projects and two more people will participate and will share their view on sustainability and like how to develop it in especially our local region. And therefore, please, like I will and Jansaya will ask you, for example, to like complete one or another activity, and please participate, please talk. And okay, so welcome for this like very active session as usual. Okay, so by the end of the lesson, you and students, yes, like all of you are students, will be able to be aware of the role of emotions in science, yes, will be able to name 4 or 7 new words related to science and emotions, understand general idea of the listening text, and identify 5 specific details in the project. And also, please be ready to explain your attitude to the role of emotions in science with the use of models of probability. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, so here comes new words. And I think maybe at first some of you will say, will mention some words that were really new and difficult for you. So who can say?
Well, for me, the only word was difficult, and this is OLED, this abbreviation of the special types of screens or lights which are used for creation of screens. This is from the video.
Yes, and actually I paid attention that it was also like connected with something organic, and yes, therefore, yes, I think this product also contributes to the sustainable development, right? Okay, so anyone else? Ekaterina Nikolaevna, have you watched the video? Ekaterina Nikolaevna, can you hear?
Yes, now
We
I
cannot
can
hear
hear. There
you.
were some problems, but now I can hear.
Okay, so any words you didn't understand from the video, for example, or everything was clear?
In general, I've understood everything. But of course, some words they were like not familiar for me because I'm a school teacher. But anyway, in general, I've understood.
Okay, so Janseyan, I think like you will pronounce the words, yes? And I will like navigate these cards.
Okay.
Okay, so
The first word is officer.
so officer means commander, yes? Okay, guys, Jansaya, can you read the meaning?
A group of people working together, especially one that runs an airplane or a large vessel.
Okay, so what is it? Who can say?
It's crew.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
That's
Just
right.
a moment. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next definition, unable to be both true at the same time.
Contradictory.
Contradictory.
Yes.
Contradictory.
Okay, thank you.
Something that prevents one from moving forward. What
It's
is it?
obstacle.
Yes, it's obstacle.
Obstacle, yes.
To throw away, eliminate.
Get rid of.
Yes.
Let's check.
Get rid
Okay.
of.
Riddle.
Making an important discovery.
Breakthrough.
It is a breakthrough, I think.
Breakthrough.
Yes. Breakthrough.
Right.
Flexible.
Or it is bendable, maybe.
Bend.
That word was actually not like I cannot say it wasn't.
It's
Like
similar, I think.
Flexible and bendable?
Yes, but
Yeah.
you know I couldn't.
Yeah.
know.
I
Actually,
would say that
wouldn't
they are not synonyms, like
bend
straight
was
away.
something bended. Yes, and bent and like flexible. For me, it's like about people more, and for me, it was like surprising. Yeah, bendable.
Something written or spoken that tells important news.
Announcement.
Output.
Announcement.
Announcement.
Oh, yeah. Announcement.
So display technology where an organic compound provides the light for the screen, thus eliminating the need for a backlight or inverter.
OLED.
Yes,
Yes.
organic light
Organic
emitting
light.
medium.
Diet.
Okay. Yes. Okay, actually, they were the words, and as I said before, for me, bendable was like the most surprising word. Therefore, I ask you, maybe you found something surprising because, like, for me, it was wow, bendable. Like, I know what it is, but I couldn't connect it with flexible.
But in general, you see, I taught at Technical University for 12 years. And that is why it was not surprising for me. Because in technical sciences, so bendable is widely used.
I
So
see.
background is a very important thing. Okay.
Yes, background is very important thing. And actually, sorry guys, because like I feel a bit nervous. And John, can you hear me? John?
Yes, yes.
I'm so sorry because I forgot you said that you wanted to say something in the beginning, yes, and I started the session. So may I give you the floor, okay? And after that we will continue. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. It's okay. It's fine. I'd just like to give a greeting from the U.S. Embassy, who have sponsored this the MOOC program for media literacy and STEM. We're very happy that you've had such a great experience with Anna, and really looking forward to the lesson today. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Ben, did you want to say a word or two?
Ben, maybe you will add something.
Sure. It's great to see everyone again, even if we're seeing each other virtually this time. You know, I was impressed with you last time I saw your class. I was impressed with everybody, and so far I'm very impressed by these clear objectives and this kind of vocabulary review. So I'm like John. I guess I'm just really happy to be here. So
Okay, and sorry guys, one more time that I didn't give you the floor at the beginning.
That's okay, that's fine.
So many things to bear in mind. Okay, so we continue. Okay. Well, and as I said already, and John attended our session where we were speaking about the strategies for reading, yes, because we all are teachers, and some of us are conducting CLIL classes, and therefore we try to design the activities that our teachers will use during their lessons. And one of these activity actually prediction, yes, we need to try to predict what the lesson is going to be about, yes, the main idea, which is also important and which is also one of our key skills, yes, during these sessions. So therefore this activity is devoted to like predicting, like we need to predict what this session and what this topic lesson will be about. Okay, so guys, I'm sorry because like I will read and you need to guess these words and I will type these words, and after that, if we have 3 keywords correctly, yes, we will like how to say this short phrase about which this topic is. Okay, so the first word, a feeling such as happiness, love, fear, anger, which can be called emotion. Okay?
Emotion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, emotion.
I agree, emotion, right? If you
Yeah.
put all this together, it's all emotions.
Okay, great. Any body of knowledge organized in a systematic manner.
Science.
Body of knowledge. Yeah, science.
Let's try. Okay. And work that involves studying something and trying to discover facts about it.
Learning, research,
Or research.
Research.
Experience.
Research. Any other ideas, guys?
Research only.
Experiment.
Yes,
I thought about learning, but research sounds better.
I would say study maybe or experiment, yes, or maybe yes, actually. But okay, let's check.
Through maybe.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Oh,
So
great.
we have 3 words, and of course we know the topic before, yes, the title of the topic, so the role of emotions. But if you give, for example, this topic before saying the title, yes, and if you make your students guess what the topic is about, this activity can be good, like in the beginning of any of your lessons. So emotion, science,
Miss Anna,
research.
could you tell how is it activity called?
Preview.
No, I mean I know the stage.
As
I mean
for-
the website where it was created.
It's learning apps.
Learning app. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. And as for while watching task, because you all watch the video, yes, we need to arrange this information in the right order of appearance in the lecture. Okay. So, Jansaya, can you help me to read this? So we have only 4. We have only 4 phrases, and we need to arrange them one by one. What is first, what is second, what is third, according to the video, okay?
Okay, the statement that whatever you're working on, make sure that it matters and take it to your heart as much as you like.
This is last.
The last.
Okay.
If I move it here, you can see that it becomes 4.
The elite project was less and less in the focus of the management. This resulted in additional freedom and responsibility.
Three.
I think the third.
Third.
Which is the third one?
Third?
Okay.
The Star Trek's half human, half Vulcan, Mr. Spock, embodies the perceived conflict between emotion and logic. His human heritage often seems to obstruct his logical Vulcan nature.
This is the first.
Some background information. And here comes the announcement that OLID project was discontinued. Number 2, right? Okay, let's check. Okay. Yes, you watch the video. This is great. So, yes, and this also we can watch the video one more time to check, but we are not going to spend time on this, yes, because we have 2 more projects here. Okay, and now please for post-watching questions, guys, you need to say what is the main idea of the speech. So today I'm not nominating the person because you all of you are active. So please name yourself and answer the question. So who is the first one? Okay, Tatiana, maybe.
You mean me? What is the main idea of the speech? I think that the main idea is to but not sacrifice, to dedicate yourself to the project or maybe a work you do, and not to give up even if it's closed, like in the video. And what can I say else?
And do you remember the new words? Because you need to use them while answering the question.
Yes, I remember the new words.
So who can add something? Ekaterina Nikolaevna, maybe you? Ekaterina Nikolaevna? Actually, it's hard to identify. Okay.
I think, may I say, I think the main idea of the, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the main idea of the speech is to overcome obstacles, no? In English.
One more time, please.
To overcome obstacles, she said.
To overcome obstacles. Bayan Mukushevna, do you agree?
So mostly I try to keep silent to give the floor to the students, you see. But in general, you know that we are working on the project now. I mean, the members of our department is working. And while watching this video, I again came to the conclusion that you need very good officer, you see, and you should have a very devoted crew if you want to you see, to be successful with your project. And I learned it from this video as well. So very good officer, very devoted crew. You see, that is the main idea.
Bendable
Yeah,
participants.
I agree with it. Right. I would say like that for me, it wasn't even a question if emotions and logic can go together. Sometimes emotions can interfere in logic, but emotions are responsible for their part of job, which means attachment of a person to the job he or she performs. And without these emotions, I think like we wouldn't be so devoted to anything in our lives.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so Pirzad, do you agree with the lecturer's point of view? Do you think that for breakthroughs and innovations, we should make use of our feelings?
Yes, I agree with the lecture because I think that that feeling of dedicated, the feeling of being dedicated in something significant is very crucial for innovation and for the innovations and creativity. So you should be dedicated in what you want to do.
Camila, can you add anything?
So I'm pretty agree actually with this statement with the Pirzad. And also I can add something that emotions and insight, they're very connected. They can go like opposite. Yeah, opposite. They should like to be completed, like complemented. So actually.
Okay. Margarita, What is your attitude towards this lecture? Do you agree that science and emotions relate to each other and emotions are important for science success? I know that you are another person, so you do not prefer to show your emotions, and therefore I think it's important for me to hear the answer of this question from you.
In my opinion, there should be a golden means between emotions and direct work. So, for example, in most cases, emotions are necessary to improve success of research, but sometimes a lot of emotion could interrupt the relationship between member of research and the other. So it's maybe it should be a golden mean between work and an emotion.
Okay, Olga, can you add anything? Because you are also a person of like science, and you're also serious, and like I know that you're dedicated to your work. But what about emotions?
Thank you. I think that in our life, emotion can be negative and positive, and both of this emotion use us to come through some maybe scientific mistake, or maybe from some negative and positive elements which we can found in our research. And I think that maybe we didn't understood that we use our feeling, we use our emotion in our scientific research. But I think we did it and do it because we are not, as Commander Spock, and we are not vulcans, and but sometimes we must to slow down our emotion, because sometimes it can be obstacle to go toward to new discoveries, or maybe to do something better in our research. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I agree with the last opinion.
Okay,
For
good.
example, when are you doing a long study, so for example, very long study, it's too hard not to be boring and tired.
Okay.
So in this case, the emotion can be a bad idea.
Aygul Soletovna, I know that you are the person of art, yes? You're working in art. And for you and for your life, emotion is like inevitable, yes, part of your life. But what about research and science? Do you think we shouldn't hide emotions while doing something like connected with science and research? Aliya Okujanovna, the question also is for you as well, and for Aygul Soletovna.
I think many kinds of emotion we have, and they all are not negative for us. I think all of them can help for breakthrough.
But I think that emotions. Oh, okay.
Okay, Tanya, continue.
I think that emotions can be obstacle as well, because in a case when something is going wrong, you can just give up, and it can be an obstacle in making a breakthroughs.
Yeah, I partially agree. Sometimes emotion like help, sometimes emotion distract us from doing something serious, but yes, it's true that they are like the part of our life we cannot sometimes control.
This
And also
discussion
we
made
can
me remember one phrase, which is like something 1,000 years old. It's like, there is nothing to desire anymore when your conscious does it work. So when you think first, even when you think about your own emotions, and if they are reasonable, then like everything goes well.
Okay, so who can add anything, or we will go further?
I partially agree with this, with your opinions, ladies, because I myself, you see, pay much attention to the people whom I work with. And usually when even working at the department, you see, our teachers should have emotions, and the same with the project, you see. So when people do not have emotions, it's very difficult to work with such people because we are not computers, and we are always in connection with each other, in relations. And that is why I value very high all emotions, you see.
But at the same time,
But at the same time, there are many obstacles. You see, there are many obstacles, but nevertheless, I praise people who have emotions. But you see, in our team, in our crew, we have Margarita, Taisia, Anna, you see me. We are very different. Some of us have emotions, express emotions, some of us. Maybe it's the golden, you see,
It's
but that
Margarita.
is why our crew works very successfully. Okay,
I
thank you.
think what the human emotion more different from other people's, but emotion from science maybe как, одинаковый.
The same.
The same.
The same, yes.
Okay, thank you guys. So we have one more, actually we have two more tasks. And Jansaya, I want to give you the floor because I want you to explain what should we do in this post-watching task, okay?
Okay, so here in post-watching task, at first you need to create sentences by describing pictures. These pictures were made according to the video lecture, according to the information of the video lecture, and you need to create at least 2 sentences for each picture.
And I want to ask you to read these phrases on the pictures.
Okay.
So picture number 1.
At picture number 1, we can see like this person is the head of the company.
Officer?
Yes, officer, and he said that the elite project is discontinued.
Okay.
So how can we describe this picture?
Let's just, okay, just a moment, guys. Let's just read these phrases. So picture number 2.
We can see the year 2015, and 2 persons conversation. I'm working on the development of materials for blue shining OLEDs, and we are working on the materials for green OLEDs. And picture number 3. I'm so happy to be the part of this project, and I can't believe that we achieved our goal within just 1 year. Working on the development of green OLEDs was a mesmerizingly exciting time.
Okay. So, guys, we need to describe 3 pictures with the help of at least 2 sentences for each picture. So who is the first one?
To the first picture. Jansaya, will you read again? Because I do not see what is written.
The elite project is discontinued.
Oh.
It's like an announcement.
But we have already found so many interesting facts. What shall we do?
So you are expressing emotions now.
Yeah, I am emotional, you know.
Yes. Okay.
And maybe just the OLED project is like get rid of away, like throw away till eliminated. And it's so pity actually.
So are you speaking about picture number 1, right?
Yeah, actually.
So
Pirizat, can you add anything?
yes, so if we describe this picture, I think it is that the employee wants to stop audit research. Something like this. We should do something like this, right?
Ladies, as far as I understood, we should give some, you see, feedback as if we are in the picture. Am I right? Jansaya, what is the task?
So you need to describe these pictures. For
Ah,
example,
just
what's going on?
Yes, we can. You can
I thought
describe.
that we
Yes.
should be actors and then.
Yes, I also thought the same. Therefore, I asked Jansiya to explain.
So sorry. I thought that I should be like an actress and imagine that I am in the place of one of the persons, and then that is why I was emotional.
Yes.
You need only just description. Okay, sorry.
But actually, you know, your way of representing the answer was also great. I like it because I would react the same, even worse. You know
Because
me.
we are very similar.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Okay, so Pirizat, how can you describe the first picture?
Okay, I said that employee wants to stop audit research. Something like this.
Not employee, I think.
So, okay, I think it's okay. Who is it?
Commander.
Command
Officer.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, the officer wanted to stop the audit research. Yes. But the employees were unhappy with this. Yes.
Yes.
Disappointed. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
May I add something? My opinion. So I think that there are a lot of things to say, but I can say that this officer didn't think about feelings of his I don't know, workers, employees. Yes, because we can see that these workers feel unhappy, they feel emotions because of it was their research, their work, they gave all of themselves to their work. So it was a little bit egoistic, I think, and that's all.
But the officer seems to be happy.
They are shocked, I think. They are shocked.
Okay, picture number 2.
May I add some words to the picture number 1?
Elena Yurina?
Well, I joined the other members of our staff today, and I've heard all the versions, and some words to add, that maybe these employees, as I understand the employer and the employees, they really very upset because maybe they've done some outputs and they were going to get some to be awarded and to get money for their breakthrough, and the employer here in this situation is shown as an obstacle to the research and maybe even for the great breakthrough, and the situation seems contradictory for me, and therefore it is shown the role of the officer, I think, the great role of the officer of the crew. Thank you.
Okay, so can you add anything, guys? Oля?
No.
No? Okay. Maybe Talganay?
I haven't anything to add, but I can describe seconds.
Okay.
Here we can see. Here we can see two scientists present their current work, and since it's 2015, it's after their company Oli. are was able to work again. How it so it's meet after the company still work.
Okay. Was that about picture number 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, and picture number 3, guys.
Maybe may I add some about second picture, because from video with two crews was built in 2014, and they work 1 year, and I think it is a meeting between two scientists which they're working in different command, in different teams, and they just try to speak about resulting in both with team in green and blue OLED materials, which they discovered from 1 year of working. Thank you.
Can I add? I think in this picture we can see the research group who just finished general OLED project, and they seeing how to what can they do in the future. So, for example, maybe there are two directions. So, one of them to conduct research in narrow areas for with OLED project, or to create another the new project. At last of discussion of this thing, they decide to make to conduct research in narrow areas, and to make applied of the research. So using of blue sharing OLEDs and green OLEDs, and announcement these two projects from general OLED project.
Okay. May I add? You see, did you pay attention that this conversation is going on in 2015, when there were left only devoted people? And that is why I totally agree with Margarita that here we see the meeting of devoted scientists who have some ideas how to conduct and to continue working on their project. And they are discussing two directions in which they can follow. You see, that's my opinion.
Okay, and that, like, their dedication and devotion resulted in picture number 3. Yes, because they are happy that they finished their project successfully. Yes, Jansia, am I right?
Yes.
Yes, and now they are happy because they, like, how to say, became bendable. Yes, and they didn't stop working on the project.
They see the output.
Yes.
Yes.
They see the output, the outcome. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we are having the quiz now. So I will read, because I understand that the font is not so large, yes? So the quiz, the role of human emotions in science and research. Okay. So we need to choose one option. What is the key point of the lecture? And point number 1, emotions and logic oppose each other. Number 2, we should use feelings instead of facts. And number 3, whatever you're working on, take it to your heart as much as you like.
The third one, the last
Third. Yeah,
Number 3. Number 3.
Number 3.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yes.
Well, Jansaya, can you read the second?
Which piece of advice did the speaker receive several times? Work with great passion, whatever you are working on. Don't take it to your heart. You can work on something else. If you are sure that this project really matters, work on it.
The third, maybe.
Number 3.
The second,
I think the third.
Number
So
1 or 3.
So work with great passion. wherever you're working on. Don't take it to your heart. You can work on something else. Just don't. What piece of advice did the speaker receive several times?
That it was like, don't take it to your heart.
Second
You can
one.
work on something else. Just don't be upset, actually.
Yes,
Number
that's
two,
right.
it was about the advice the speaker got,
Yes.
I think. Okay, we will check actually. So, number three, why were the team working on with such personal engagement on a project already sentenced to death? They need money. Number two, they felt that they were connected to something meaningful. And number three, working on different projects seemed boring.
The second one about the
The
meaningful.
second.
The second.
Yeah, because they need to create something important.
Okay, Janselia, read the first.
What are OLED's new generation of displays, new generation of smartphones, or new generation of microphones?
Number one.
Displays.
Number one.
Display, of course.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yes, so all questions you answered
Right.
correctly.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Nice to hear.
That's good.
Okay,
Very
so
pleasant.
actually, yeah, we have only reflection, and I'm not going to ask if you like the lesson because, of course, each lesson is useful and we can know something new. But I would ask some of you maybe summarizes this lecture, this lesson, and maybe let's sum up, right? Maybe you would say what was the most interesting part or what was the most difficult part for you, and also pay attention to the lesson design because we are teachers and we need to know how to present and how to teach something. Yes. So who can start? It's very difficult to start, yes? Evgenia, maybe you?
Hello. I liked the quiz and discussion, get the opinion of other students. It's hard for me to express my thoughts so that you understand them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Asil. Asil, can you add something? Okay, Елена Юрьевна.
Thank you. I was impressed by the lesson today. It was quite useful and maybe necessary, but useful in fact. And the most interesting part of the lesson, if generalize the idea, I liked the vocabulary work and the possibility or chance to use in discussion and the discussion itself, the chance to discuss and a lot of provoking questions to force to make us think and create our own sentences and express our ideas. And the most difficult thing for me exactly is to design the same. I would like to learn how to do it, and I was greatly impressed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And guys, if you cannot speak, maybe you have some problems, you can type in the chat your opinions, and in this case there will be something more interactive because all of you will participate, because I understand that sometimes it's difficult to speak and express your emotions, yes, and opinions. But Nukushevna, can you add anything?
So if you want, I always have something to add,
Okay.
So, in general, I like the lesson and it was very useful for me. I learned that learning apps is a very interesting technique for using at the lectures. The most interesting part of the lesson, of course, were the activities connecting with the test, then some predictions and giving the labels to the pictures. What was the most difficult? To keep silent, because I tried to be silent, in order to give flow to the rest of the audience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so as I said, guys.
May I say, please?
Yes, Aida Sovietовna.
Thank you. More interesting for me was new words. It was more necessary for me for my vocabulary, and the games more interesting for me, and the difficult the tests more difficult, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
Can I
guys,
add?
can you add something?
Can I add something? Okay. For me, it's first. It was very interesting to choose some very specific theme for this lesson, because this topic is unusual for us, because we didn't take more attention for this, for role of emotion in our research. And it's very useful for using some specific learning technique. And for this, I say thank you for authors. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, the role of emotions, this topic was chosen because I also tried to find something that would connect all of us, because we all of us are different. And it's like a bit annoying to discuss more the role of like present situation, like this isolation period and COVID, like, because I wanted to do it, but actually I decided no, we need to discuss something like something different from this, what people discuss every day. And I think Margarita want to say something. Yes.
And for me, it was a good idea how to conduct some online sessions. So, for example, summer walk during our quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah, here I can agree with Margarita that most of all I like the lesson because of all the interactive techniques that we have here, like all the activities. They were really interesting. And the most interesting thing was the discussion itself. I think I appreciate this chance to speak in English and to share my thoughts and understand others.
Thank you.
May I add?
Of course.
At first, thank you for the lesson. Before this lesson, I thought that all scientists are guided only by facts and emotions interfere with discoveries. But now I understand that emotions play a very important role and help to make discoveries. And this
Arina,
was
I
so
think you can
useful.
identify yourself, right, in the chat.
I have the bad connection.
Okay, I see.
So.
But it's like the show Maska, like I recognized your voice.
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, we have two more, presentations, because as I said before, we all need to contribute to sustainable development of our country, yes. And today I'm happy that our KSU teachers prepared something to share, and I'm going to give the floor to
Anna, I'm really sorry. Let's go back to your presentation and a few words about my discovery. So while looking at this very presentation, I have discovered that you can enlarge the screen. Will you go back to this presentation of Zhensaya? And will you go back to these tasks with pre-watching or while watching?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a question, yeah, it wasn't visible, readable for us.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. If you click on this right top with purple arrows or something.
With purple?
Purple. Well, go to the top right on the screen, on the yellow brown screen itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see your arrow. Yeah, well, no.
Mm-hmm.
Вот эти вот, которые вот сужают, показывают. Вот, видишь?
Ah,
And everything is
okay.
visible. You see?
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
discovered it because, well, it was impossible to read even well when you see it, the
Yeah,
presentation.
therefore we
If I
write
click
it.
this or that, so that's why another time you are very welcome to use this option.
Okay. Thank you.
Anna, you will explain to us later.
Yes, this one, Ben Kushivna, you know this, like right upper corner.
Mm-hmm.
And here, if you click on it, you will have like, yeah, you will see that.
Okay.
Yes, and just for Canva itself, there is enlarge the screen, like, well, again, arrows at the bottom under the screen. Вот внизу, видите, вот такие, опять же, стрелки Will you try this option?
Uh-huh. I did it.
So you see.
Okay.
It
Anna?
looks much better, but well, as for this very well application, the name of it, learning apps or what?
Yes, learning
Learning
apps.
apps, yes.
Learning. Okay, will you type in the chat?
Learning apps.
Could you type in the chat the name of this?
Anna?
I don't can see the word.
Yeah, learning apps, I have typed.
Anna?
Yes, John.
I'm very sorry, but Ben and I are going to have to leave. We have another observation to do today. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your lesson today. Also, thanks to Jean Saya for all of the work you did. We were very happy to meet your participants. Just my closing parting words again. Thanks everyone for your participation. And we're very happy to have you in this course. And thanks to you, Anna.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
We will record the rest of the video, and of course we'll upload it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, girls and guys. When we studied Coursera, we found some specific theme about waste. And you know that time by time, year by year, we produced more waste from our life, and I choose with them because there are many projects by which we can do garbage like a business. Okay, next slide, please, Anna.
Just a moment.
And here you can see, and it was very useful and very pleasant for me, because it all video in Coursera we can find specific cards which can display for us main idea of video and give definition of some specific term. Here present, and I give you to remember with key points from Coursera video about waste, disposal of waste. You can see that disposal of waste, and it was it was first for me that I can see writing of transcription by this way, and I try to use it in my future activity. Okay, disposal of waste is throwing away something we do not want. Recycling, it is a change in waste into something useful. and landfill, a place to bury waste. And I think that you can, and I think you can put this cards in correct order. Can somebody help me to put these cards in correct order? Maybe for your opinion to try to find answer for question. What is the main idea from my video?
Well, I think landfill is the first one, yes?
Landfill? Okay,
Yeah.
please name
So we
just.
go to landfill to find lots of waste and to think what to do with it.
Maybe someone can do it.
I think that land. Okay. Margarita, please, welcome.
Landfill. Landfill is the storage of waste on some territory. So unfortunately,
But we need to arrange.
Range of with cards in from third to fourth place.
I think landfill should be before recycling.
Of course.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
With the first one is disposal of waste, the second one is recycling, and landfill, and the third one is recycling.
No, recycling is one of the ways.
I think, can I say some words? I think that recycling is the main idea of changing the waste into something useful. Recycling, so to give one more life to some waste. Maybe composting first, then landfill finally, or something like that.
But guys, at first we complete.
Maybe should be first, composting second, incineration, and landfill the last.
Okay, thank you, girls. You are try to do this correct, because I think that for all of us in future, recycling should be first that we will do for.
But how to arrange correctly, Olga?
First place from this card we should take for recycling, because for us it will be main idea in future to do what we need to do with our waste. And
recycling is the first, yes?
Recycling is the first. Recycling is the first, because
I'm very sorry for interrupting, but can you give any examples of recycling?
So, for example, cartoons and paper, we can recycle to produce a new paper good.
Okay, thank you very much.
We learn about recycling later, below slides.
Okay.
But
Anna, can you give?
Yes, just I want to explain how what I thought about. Like at first, to recycle something, you need to find something to recycle, yes? And you go to the landfill and find some waste. And at first you waste, you make a disposal of waste, and then all this waste go to landfill. You go to landfill and find some waste that can be recycled, and that was my point of view.
So no. So, for example, I saw some video film about how to dispose of waste in Los Angeles. So they gathering the waste, and part of them go to recycling. Some of them, so for example, waste of food product in composting after incineration, and a little bit of waste after for landfill.
Okay.
Okay, next slide, please.
Next slide, okay.
Okay, the waste product means the various materials produced by human activity and is undertaken for reducing the effect on health, environment, and aesthetics. And here you can see 3R. reuse, reduce, and recycle. And in our and in all things that you can found in your home, you can found this sign, because it is a main idea for all employees to do something that can help to decrease harmful influence to environment. And our government try to teach us to do something with our waste, and to do it in this way: reuse, reduce, and recycle. You try to do it from waste which you produce in your life in future, or maybe today. Next slide. And sometimes we can find that waste management, it is a popular type of business which can develop in all countries in our planet, because they refer to the collection, precision, recycling, transport, and monitoring of waste products. It is a business, and sometimes this business can take big money for this. Next slide, please. And we try in our country, we try to use this widely concept, include waste hierarchy. It means that we should use some specific technique to separate different kinds of waste, different kinds of materials. In our country, and I think in more countries in the world, work with extended producers' responsibility. It means that who make this product, this person should think about waste from this product, and he needs to do something for reuse, maybe, or maybe to do something after this product will be unuseful for person. And polluter pays principle, it is a strategy that can work in a country for decrease influence of waste for environment and for human health. Next slide. Here I give for you some specific definition about with extended producer responsibility and polluter pays principle, and I think all of you hear about it, and it is important to do something with waste after we will not use this product in the future, or maybe it means that we should be stronger to use this product by way which need. Next slide, Anna.
Just a moment.
And all that I need to do by previous slide, I want to speak that Karaganda and our country try to come to correct, to useful and good strategy to use waste, to work with garbage. And you can see with a very little figure, you can see our Karaganda city factory, which work with all waste which we put in на свалку, в общем, мусорный бачок. And sometimes you can see in any behind any homes, you can see different kinds of tanks. And you can found tanks for paper, you can found tanks for food waste, or for maybe glass, or maybe for bottles. And can you explain this situation in our town, and can you suggest your solution to the garbage problem and use the keyword in next page? Anna, can you give us next? It first in this feature, I put some screen from Coursera course, which can you build sentences by which you can explain maybe problem by waste in our regions, or maybe a solution for this problem. Girls, try to use these terms and with sentence construction to explain your meaning, or to explain your opinion about
what should we do with waste in Karaganda?
Yes, thank you, Anna.
Yeah, because I don't want to come back to another slide, to the previous slide. Therefore, I decided to clarify. Yes.
Slide. Okay, thank you.
So who will start? Irina Yurievna, maybe you will try?
Maybe some term is unfamiliar for you, and I try to explain this term.
Okay, guys, can you...
Plasma gasification, what does it mean?
Plasma gasification.
It is a specific way to work with waste, type of burning of waste.
Burning?
It's specific process when we can burn some waste and produce the natural gas for creating a source of energy.
Source of energy?
And sparsely populated country.
Repeat, please.
Sparsely, yes, sparsely populated country. Too many people?
Yes.
Not so many people. Sparsely populated country just means the country lived, so for example, 1 people per 1 square kilometers.
So
it's about our country, then we have more kilometers and less people for it.
So we say sparsely populated.
Sparsely populated country. Kazakhstan is a sparsely populated country, right?
Yes.
Okay. So who can try, because the vocabulary is rather difficult, I see, but if you guys at least try, that would be great. Maybe Janseya?
You can use own terms, but I want that you try to use this sentence construction.
Well, I will try. Actually, I think, in my opinion, local government authorities should pay much more attention to recycling waste.
Okay.
And especially to the way of disposal of waste, because nowadays we have lots of waste everywhere. And now in the period of isolation, it's actually clearly seen in what awful situation our country is, and otherwise, or for example, if they don't do this, they will consequently receive the situation like the huge territories with lots of waste. And of course, it's really hazardous for our environment. And of course, they should also pay attention to the environmental education at schools, universities. And as we said in the previous lesson, actually, we need to maybe introduce, maybe not the, how to say, we need to introduce topics to all of our lessons about like recycling, about dealing with like dealing with waste, something like this.
Thank you. Girls?
So I think for sparsely populated countries, Kazakhstan, in the for settlements and owls, we can use plasma gasification because not so much waste in these settlements, but with using of plasma gasification, we can burn some waste, and as a result of to produce electricity energy on hot energy and stay in the territory without waste producer.
Okay, thank you.
So, for example, in Kargu, there is a group who produce a plasma gasification installation. It's a quite little equipment which can use so in farmers for small countries and other.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who else can try, guys?
Okay, huge territories like suffer from disposal of waste actually. Because of this, like price of product, they can be risen, and also like like landfills. Because of like landfills, there are a lot of waste. Actually, we can produce it, and actually, in my opinion, we should do some recycling. Because by thinking carefully about what products we buy at the supermarket, how to recycle them, like the first step, we need to like do like recycling, because many materials can be recycled, like such as paper, plastic, metal, and glass actually. And also when we are shopping at the supermarket, like we should buy some product that can be recycled easily, such as glass jars in the thin cans maybe.
Okay, it's a good opinion, because in our country just 2% of all waste are take by come to recycling, and for rest 98% we used landfill. And for our huge territories, maybe few years it will be good, but after maybe 10 years, many areas in our country will be used by landfill, and we need to do something to look maybe like European countries, or maybe look like Japan, because in this country recycling more than 90% of all waste. And for my presentation, when I did my presentation, I think that you will speak about with the problem, because then I studied at university in my student group. Maybe more students don't think about waste as a problem, and maybe nobody think that waste is a business. And I think it's a big problem for us, because if we don't do something by from this day, maybe 10 or maybe early, we have a big environmental problem because we produce more and more waste every day, and we should we should be responsibility for this because waste is a waste can be waste can be dangerous for environment, and we should
you are always like a person who has some like maybe not alternative opinion, but you can add something because like it's really a big problem for Kazakhstan, and nowadays in the streets there are lots of waste, and perhaps yes, this is because we have large territories. So what do you think about it?
Should we bury them? Like bury them?
I don't know. I just wanted.
I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah. I just ask your opinion because you always have like some special opinion about Kazakhstan, and perhaps like we have this awful situation with waste because we have lots of territories. Yes.
Yeah, I listened to Camila's point of view. She underlines that because of huge territories, you see, Kazakhstan do not and sparsely populated country. So local government authorities of Kazakhstan do not pay much attention to this problem because they think that landfill is enough for disposal of waste. You see, but we should search for new techniques. You see, new ways how to make this how to change and improve this situation. You see, and plasma gasification, which Margarita talked about, is one of the ways. And I read about biomass, some generators of energy, which are implemented into some rural areas of Kazakhstan. Because we should think about the further generations of Kazakhstan and in the world. And that is why we need to look forward to new technologies and nanotechnologies. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, actually, I think because lots of people are typing in the chat that some of them have lost their internet connection. Perhaps this is because of May holidays, and I understand that all of you have already been tired. And I think it's a good idea if we leave the presentation of Margarita and other projects to the next session, okay? Because today is a holiday, yesterday is the weekend, and I think like we did a great job. And I want to thank all of you for this active participation and your contribution. And I think it's enough, yes, for today's
Thank you for all of you. It was very nice to see you.
I understand how it's difficult, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Dear participants, let's search the internet about alternative sources of energy.
Okay,
Yes, we'll
sources
discuss
of energy.
alternative sources of energy.